Welcome to another episode of the Brothers Watch. We just watched Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. We are about to play some trivia, rate it, and review it. Let's get right into it. Let's spin the wheel. See who's asking trivia today.
Was that so you couldn't just say it while I was spinning?
Yeah,
It was because I
land
was
on right there?
talking about how I messed up on
You
them.
said what?
Who did it land on right there?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even look. Please, God, don't be me. Or me be
I really hope it's me.
It should be.
I feel like
me
it was kind of
because
hard to ask questions for this movie. Dark blue.
It's been.
Oh boy. Question number 1. What year does the film take place in? What is the setting? Not when it came out.
Does it say that?
It does. It's the opening scene. It flashes it on the screen.
I'm surprised at you, Tony.
Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I feel like the year
It's like
makes
location and year.
the year makes it even better.
I mean, I could get close.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, show.
1936.
1936 is
I
correct.
put 38.
Dang.
Proud of you. I hate you.
All right. Question number 2. What does Indy replace the golden idol with?
I was thinking of the 40-year-old version.
Yes. Show.
A bag of sand.
Bag of sand is correct. Question number 3. How much does Indy tell Marcus he needs to get back the golden idol? How much cash?
Wow.
You're like staring into the camera.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Show.
2K.
2K is correct.
Um,
Isn't this like your favorite franchise?
I love this movie. I was like, honestly, I watched a ton of behind the scenes more than anything, and then I regretted not watching this movie twice.
Where was he going to bring the 2000?
Marrakesh.
Nice. Dang.
Question 4. When Indy leaves California on the Pan American flight, what country do they land in? It's when he goes to see Marion.
Like he.
Yeah, okay. Where he sees Marion.
Yes.
Gotcha. Nepal.
Nepal is correct.
Nipple.
Question number 5.
Because all the mountains. That's what God was thinking when he named it. But then he was like, "Yeah, I'll class it up a little bit. Nepal instead of nipple."
When he named it?
Yeah. Shout out Family Guy for that joke.
Question number 5.
Onward.
How much money does Indy give Marion for the medallion? Just looking for the first number, not the extra amount.
Okay, is it a bonus question if for bonus
Nope.
points? If you get
3,000.
3,000 is correct.
Smartest man in the world.
Said 2000.
When Indy and Marion arrive in Cairo, they meet up with Salah, who tells them the Germans have a brilliant French archaeologist. What is that archaeologist's name? There's 2 technically answers. I will accept either one.
I'm going to spell it phonetically, and I don't want to hear about it.
Okay, show.
Dr. Renee Belloc.
Belloc.
Belloc. Yeah.
Bullock.
He says Belosh, and Indy says Belloc. What does Belloc and the Nazis think the Ark of the Covenant can do? They say what it is, and they say what it can do.
Yeah.
It's also like a biblical thing.
Yeah, hold up. Okay.
Okay, show or say.
Communicate with God
Yeah.
and used as a weapon.
No army formed against it will beat them.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll
Speak
accept
to
that.
God, make them invincible. We clearly all know what the answer is. Me
Okay.
especially.
What's the score after 7?
I have
Me
5.
and Jeff have 6.
Okay. Question 8. After Indy loses the Ark to the Nazis, where does he tell Salah and Marion to meet him?
Wait,
I'm not looking for the city's name. I'm not looking for Cairo. Show.
I put George's hangar garage.
Nope.
What is it?
Jeff, you didn't have anything?
I
either?
didn't write. I didn't.
Omar's garage.
Dude, I was so close. That's such bull.
Omar and George?
Yeah, and I wrote garage, though, you heifer.
How many times does Marion kiss Salah? Joe, I will give you bonus points if you can name what each kiss was for,
Wait, why Joe?
because he's so far behind you
No,
guys.
he's 1 point behind.
Who's Sala? Which one is Sala?
Don't worry about it.
I'm going to get bonus points.
No bonus points. That's bull.
He's the asker.
You said, how many points were you going to give him?
No, come on. That's dumb.
I'll give him a bonus point for if he can name the reasons for the kisses.
Who's Sala?
Are you serious?
How do you not know this?
No, that you don't get to ask that
I
question.
have the right
hold
answer. Who is
All
Sala?
right, well, what's the answer?
Sala
3.
is his
is
buddy.
3.
It
His
is
very
3.
good friend. 3.
Yeah.
For Fyra or Phyla,
wife,
the children, and you.
Yeah.
How many bonus points I get?
Did Jeff read it too? Yes, he did. Okay, you guys can both have it.
Have what?
The bonus points.
How many?
A bonus point.
One.
He just gets one. He gets
Stupid.
I love it.
I'm over here hating this movie, and I'm doing just as well as you guys. But
Oh,
instead
clearly
now-
not.
You're doing
no.
good. I'm proud of you.
I'm in danger.
All right, question 10.
Who cares?
What is the name of the ship captain that is to provide them with safe passage to England?
Bro, I hate your questions so much.
That's not a hard question. What's his name?
Egger.
And he's in more than one movie.
I don't know why it's funny.
Egger. And I know Egger.
It was like someone was wearing an
what? And
Egger
he's in more
suit.
than-
I know Egger, and that was an Egger. It's like something that's wearing Egger. Like a suit. An Egger suit.
How do you not know his name?
Bro, because it's such a bit part.
It's said so many times. Okay.
Dean.
All right, nobody knows his name, so we're just going to skip
Fun
it.
with Dean. What was it?
Captain Katanga.
Katanga.
All right, final question since nobody got it right. At the end of the film, who has possession of the Ark of the Covenant? And I'm going to make you be specific on this one. It's written on the crate.
I wrote top men. U.S. government.
The U.S. government.
Yeah, it's technically the U.S. Army, but sure. Jeff wins.
Congrats, Jeff.
Hey,
Congrats,
thanks, guys.
dude.
Appreciate you. I'm just, with this group, I'm just happy you guys are happy for me being happy.
I'm not happy.
And I'm happy about that.
Oh, I got robbed.
All right, let's rate this movie out of 10.
I like that hat.
Jeff, let's start with
Hat.
you.
Very nice hat. I go with 9.1. I love this movie. After watching the Jags lose yesterday, I got home and the room was spinning a little bit, and it was really nice hearing John Williams and Steven Spielberg and George Lucas do their thing. It was awesome.
Tony?
7-3.
That's actually better than I thought he was going to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you don't hate
5-1, but like
Your credibility
really
would be
you
gone.
brought it right up because I forgot about how good the score was.
Ben?
8-5.
I'm going to give it a 9-9. Jesus. It's a really good movie.
9. Was that like a pun? 2 kind.
Because of the
good.
Nazis.
No, it wasn't.
9.
It's almost a 10 for me, honestly. I think this movie is close to perfection in a lot of different ways. It's hard for me to find anything wrong with it. Jeff, like you're saying, the score is phenomenal. So let's hear a little bit of why, Jeff, you think it's that good of a movie.
Watching this movie just brings you back, I feel like, to a time where studios would take the time to actually get creative and film a movie. So like going on location, just going all out for set designs around the location, and even the set costumes that when they were traveling to different locations, it's awesome. The music, John Williams always does his thing, but
Always. This is one of his best, I think.
it's just so distinct. Yeah.
It's
And
very distinct.
it's just a fun movie. It's not too deep. You can just sit back and have a good time with it. I enjoy the movie a lot. It's just a fun watch.
Tony, what are some of the things that you enjoyed about this movie?
Enjoyed?
Yeah.
The score was great. I think like Jeff said, it is unique. It is a fun watch. It's fun. And I really enjoyed I guess the nostalgia isn't there for me because this wasn't like big in my childhood for whatever reason, but I enjoy that it is nostalgic for people.
Okay.
And I think going back and watching again as an adult, you see a lot of layers, especially with the time period that it's supposed to take place in, and kind of like, Steven Spielberg being Jewish, obviously, and then he's Jewish, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. He's definitely,
I'd
he's definitely Jewish. And a lot of the kind of intertwined, plight of the Hebrews and the Nazis, and it all kind of comes full circle, but it's like connecting different generations of oppressed people. I think the depth of it is good.
Ben?
I like Indy's theme. I think it may be one of Harrison Ford's best roles, if not his best role. I like it better than him as Han. It's just a fun adventure story.
The reason I say that it's hard for me to find something wrong with it is because I think that it is layered very interestingly. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that there are very serious, spiritual, dark aspects and tones to this movie. And then there's also, it's layered with comedy and action, even to the point where it's got the sounds where you're punching, you hear the punches, right?
The gunfire sounds
So
cool.
it's like an action hero movie, like a pseudo 007, but fantastical. You know what I mean?
He's also not 007.
Exactly. Things go wrong for him.
And he's not
not
flying by the seat of his pants.
Exactly.
James Bond's got a together.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's you know, he's dealing with spiritual aspects, but he is coming from it from a professor standpoint where he's just really interested.
He's a doctor.
in the history
Put
about
the respect on it.
Exactly.
Dr. Jones.
And I don't know. I just really appreciate the timing of it all. I feel like it goes back to those Spielberg movies where you're getting the serious aspects mixed in with the comedy. And when you can do it so perfectly, it's hard to match. And for me, like, I don't find it boring at any point in the movie. Like, I don't think it gets boring at all. I think it's one thing after another.
I would agree with that.
You're
Yeah,
finding
you get
clues.
you get thrown right into it.
Going back to the sounds, I don't know if I was the only one that heard this, but
Oh, it's definitely right.
once they open up the Ark of the Covenant,
Oh.
does it sound like they're using lightsabers? Like when he starts to shoot like the beam through the soldiers, and then like the reverb.
I feel like they
Like
were
the
using
waves.
sounds like that a lot because George Lucas did work on the movie.
Yeah.
Well, this is George Lucas's baby, really. He was
Oh
writing.
yeah, he was doing it with Steven Spielberg, not the other way around.
Yeah, it was actually
It's
his.
George Lucas wrote the story.
Yeah. So what happened was he had this idea during when he was coming up with Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he was trying to he wanted this to be like an archaeologist who finds like spiritual items with powers behind them of some sort. And they actually, him and Spielberg decided to go to Hawaii during their openings to avoid the craziness of the openings. And Spielberg had wanted to do a 007 but got passed up on it. And it was still pretty early for his career. So
Very early.
he mentioned to Lucas that he wanted to do a 007 movie or something like that. And he said, well, I got one better for you. And he told him about this idea that he had, and they hadn't written anything at all. And they actually went and got, I think his name's Larry Kestner. Am I getting his name right? Kasdan. Larry Kasdan.
Kasdan.
And he eventually worked on Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And so the three of them sat down for 3 days with a tape recorder and just talked through the whole thing. And then Kasdan went out and then just got it all together and wrote it all. But I just think it's interesting that they had that kind of 007 aspect to it, but you're right. He purposely said he doesn't have it figured out like James Bond would. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, like you said, all that was really good in depth.
Thank you.
Yeah. When the plane starts,
Yeah.
that is 100% carbon copy Millennium Falcon hyperdrive, not firing.
Oh, when it's
And the tail wing of that plane,
CPPO or something.
OBCPO.
Yep.
Which is Obi-Wan Kenobi and
Yep.
C-3PO.
That was
Well,
one
like
of
I
my
said, when
trivia
I was watching
questions.
it, the room was spinning a little bit. So.
yeah.
So when they go into the Well of Souls with all the snakes in there and everything, there's all Egyptian hieroglyphics and everything like that.
C-3PO and R2-D2, baby.
C-3PO and R2-D2 are in there, which is really, really cool to see.
It is cool.
I think any movie like this, and I'll say this in a lot of these types of episodes when we get to movies like these, I just love the old practical effects and the feelings that they evoke.
Dude, sometimes when this scene, like when he was torching those snakes, I was like, holy this would not fly nowadays.
Yeah.
Also, I saw this fan theory. I guess it's not really a fan theory. It's more of a kind of biblical reference, but they were implying that the Well of Souls or whatever that chamber is that he was in, that it was snakes because Indy opened it.
Interesting. I haven't heard that.
That the fear, the most carnal fear of the individual opening it would represent itself as a protection layer that God or whoever put in there to stop someone from going in. So it was always going to be the biggest fear of the human being opening.
Never heard that. That's fascinating.
I was watching a video of Spielberg and Lucas talk about the snake scene with how they got them all in there. And I guess initially they had 2,000 to 3,000 snakes in there. And when Spielberg was shooting it, it didn't look full. And so he told the guys, he's like, we need about 7,000 more snakes. And they found a bunch of snake breeders.
You just know, like,
and threw 'em
hundreds
in
of
there.
snakes died in the film.
So and the cobra,
maybe.
which I didn't know this, the cobras were real.
Oh, yeah, dude. So not to steal your thunder.
No,
I'm sure you might have it. But in the VHS version, or you know it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in the VHS version and every version that's not digital, so no DVD version, you can see clearly there's like a pane of plexiglass
A little reflection.
in between, of the reflection of the plexiglass between Harrison Ford and the Cobra and female, which, like, bro, you're gonna do the same exact scene, like both the Cobra comes.
I
up
know.
both, like
I know. But
that was lame. I hated
Apparently,
that.
they were really aggressive, and
course they were, yeah.
at one point they had when Marion was doing her filming, it spat venom, and venom got on the plexiglass.
Oh,
and they were everybody was really tense.
Yeah, I would
obviously,
not
when
be
the
in that
Cobras were
shit.
there, and
Hey, dude, filming this sucked.
they had a lot. So the snakes are supposed to be afraid of the fire in this movie, but when they were down there, they were being attracted towards the
bro, they're
warmth. I know.
Yeah, of
but
course
so
they are.
they're there, and there's a funny clip of Spielberg holding one of the snakes and going, "Why are you not afraid of the fire? You're supposed to be afraid of the fire. You're ruining my movie." It's really funny.
Apparently, he threw the snake on Marion.
Really?
Spielberg did, yeah.
That's
It was back in the day when directors could really with their cast.
Like-
bro, this movie is scarier than I remember.
Bro,
it
this
being.
movie has everything.
so
It's got
good,
horror,
yeah.
it's got action, it's got comedy.
Let's pump the brakes.
It really does, though. I mean, you even just said
It also has no point.
They're dealing. Well, it
has no
does have a
point.
point.
It
They're
has no
trying to.
point.
Okay, so here's
Let me. Can I?
Yeah, no, let
explain?
him
All
go.
right,
Let him
All
go.
right. So there's two aspects of this view. Either number one, if Indy is not involved, the Nazis never find the Ark because they followed him to marry him,
right, but
and then he found the Ark, and then they stole it, and then
I've got a counterpoint for that.
okay, hold on. The counterpoint being, let's say Indy, whatever for whatever reason they still find it, and Indy's there. He does nothing. They take the Ark. They just like they would have done without him being there or being there. Take it to the temple, open it, and they all die. Which
Right.
is what would have happened whether he
Well,
was
okay,
there or
but
not.
They were
the
going
Nazis-
to fly it.
Yeah, the Nazis would have gone back to where the rest of their guys were and got the Ark. They would have eventually found it there. You don't think that they're communicating with the army that they're going to go there?
But then they come in. They're going to do the same thing.
Okay, that's
I'm
true.
just saying, Indy did nothing to stop the Nazis,
the
and
story
he
was
led
set
them
up-
to it.
Yeah,
So
but
what's
why
the
does
point?
why is
Well,
that bad?
Belloc, go ahead, Jeff.
No, I don't understand why that makes it to the movie not having a general point. It's just an action movie. It's not that deep.
Well, that's fair. Also,
Baby Driver. Does Baby Driver have a point?
okay, that's fair. I'm not saying the movie is pointless. That was I overstepped. But Indy does nothing to stop the Nazis. In fact, helps the Nazis get it, and does nothing once they get it
Well,
to
he
stop
kind
them.
of kills like.
Well, I
50
think
of
I
them.
think he knows too that if they open it, what's going to
Right.
happen.
No, he knows. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I actually don't know about that. I feel like there was a. He
Well, I mean-
was looking at everything intently, right? When they were doing the whole ceremony, and then that one dude laughed about it. It seemed like everyone was kind of, oh, there's just sand in here, and then all the electrical stuff started surging.
But he knew to
to close their eyes.
Yeah, but after he saw the
Yeah, I
signs
thought it
that
was like kind of
stuff was
after the fact. I think he had that feeling of
he went
crap.
into
he
it all.
said
It's
it.
just like
He
this
was-
is just an artifact.
He
And
was
then-
explaining it when the agents came to talk to him.
yeah, but he was saying it has the power.
Yeah,
to do this.
he did sound
But
very skeptical.
He
Yeah.
just felt like when he found it, it was just going to be a relic that belonged in a museum somewhere.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Also, dude,
He's still arguing for it to be in a
my
museum.
my biggest gripe with the whole thing is that this man is a doctor of archaeology. He is a professor, and then just like on the side, he's a whip-toting, gun-wielding badass. Shut.
explain that
but,
in the
but
last
like you said,
Crusade
he's
film.
not perfect. I want to go back to Tony's point about when he's saying that Indy helped them find it. Belloc is not as good as Indy, but he's obviously good at what he's doing. And he's telling the Nazis, archaeology is not a perfect science, but they're not far from that dig site.
Yeah,
so
well, they had the wrong
eventually they'll
height
probably
of the
find
staff of Ra.
Right, but
Exactly, yeah.
eventually they're going to find that.
But my
probably.
point is
Yeah.
that they only even knew where to be
Because of him.
of the
I understand.
medallion.
Yeah.
And the only way they would have gotten there was with the medallion.
Yeah, but
Well, they only had one side of it.
yeah,
Right,
but
but they would not have even known where the medallion was if they didn't follow Indy.
That's
They
all
followed
true.
Indy
That's
to
all-
Homegirl's
That's all
place.
true, but that's a complaint with the script that I just think is a little nitpicky.
also-
What if your main character being
You're right.
involved in
You're
action
absolutely
sets
right.
up something
No,
later?
you're absolutely right. I'm looking for problems with this movie because I went into it with a bad mindset. I don't like it. I think, for me personally, the action adventure aspect is cool. I just don't like this scenery,
okay, and here's what I really love.
the environment.
And I'm the counter. I'm the opposite.
And that's fair.
because to me, I think it's really cool. Like in real history, Hitler was obsessed with finding the Ark. In real life,
No, I
there's
get that,
talk of
yeah.
him being obsessed with it because he believed that no army formed against him would prosper if he had the Ark. And so them bringing it into this like action fantasy and actually giving you the craziness of what the Ark could actually be is so cool. And that's why I said earlier in my rating, I think it's interesting that it's layered, right? You're dealing with a very serious thing with Hitler and the Nazis. You're dealing with a very serious thing with like the spiritual aspect.
I'm not laughing because the monkey does the
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna
It's
cut
just
that. I
kind
was
of
gonna
what
mention
you're
it.
talking about is very serious, but then there's a monkey that does
Right.
salute,
Yeah, you're
and
gonna
the
have to
guy
read-
salutes
But that's
him
okay.
back.
But that's part of the layering that I'm talking about.
Right,
is that
right,
I
no,
really
yeah.
like because
The
like
movie
you have
has
this
everything.
serious aspect of it with this spiritual
There's some
aspect
really
and
funny
historical
parts.
aspect, and then you layer it with the action and the comedy. Which, by the way, they had a really hard time getting that monkey to do that.
Yeah, I saw
And
that,
they had to dangle a grape and have
mean,
him try to reach for it.
Can you blame him though?
Yeah, I know.
wanna get
Right?
canceled.
I'm with
yeah.
it. I understand his feelings, but
Actually, I think it might have
there's
been a girl.
there's
too.
actually several parts that I was like, I don't remember this being that funny. When what's the guy's name? His friend,
solid.
Solid.
the Egyptian guy.
Yeah.
yeah. When he's like, looks very dangerous. You go first.
You go. first.
I was rolling.
Asps. Very dangerous. You go first.
So he said that he can't tell you how many times. Anytime someone recognizes him, they ask him to say that line.
It checks out.
Apparently,
oh, sorry.
they were all really sick during the filming there.
Yeah, dysentery.
Especially,
Don't say it.
the only one that wasn't sick was Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, because
he was
brought his
eating
own water.
canned SpaghettiOs and everything
Yeah.
constantly instead of going out with everybody.
There's a misleading. What are you shaking your head about?
Just having to eat canned SpaghettiOs the
yes.
whole time.
Another funny aspect, which everybody has probably heard a little bit about, is the scene where the guy with the sword is about to fight Indy and he just shoots him.
Yeah, I love that.
Now, true is they had it scripted to where they were going to have this big fight. And a lot of people think that Indy just improv'd it. But he actually asked Steven Spielberg, he's like, hey, like, I'm so sick.
Down bad with that dysentery.
Bad. And he asked if they could try it with him just shooting him and see what happened. And it ended up working perfectly. Sad story for that guy because they had like a whole thing.
Yeah, they had like 3 weeks of
Yeah.
that dysentery, bro. We call that double dragon in the Navy. Coming out both ends. You understand? No, but seriously, it's bad.
I'll take your word for
Liquid
it.
out of both ends.
The guy who played Sala said that he had like 105 fever and he thought he was dying.
Yeah.
And they were still shooting. He was still out there.
Dude, they were struggling.
And at one point, he said that he was out there and mid shoot, they asked him to change something. And as he's trying, he just released everything while they're out there.
He pooped his pants?
He said in front of 200 people.
He pooped his pants?
That's what he said.
I'm trying to get like that.
I think that's what he meant.
Respect,
It's either that or he
respect.
just vomited out everything.
Oh, I see.
But I'm pretty sure. So it was
And they
pretty
had
bad.
a fly epidemic.
It's in. Did you
winning
see? In
Oh,
Belloc.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
real. He just played it off.
Yeah, he said he kept it in his mouth and finished the scene and spit out and flew away. Bull. No, he ate that fly. Nazi.
You don't want Peter
So
calling
I
him
gotta
up.
say, one of my favorite parts of this movie, and I don't know if it's really truly appreciated for how much of a masterpiece it is when what's his name, Tote goes in there and he's going to interrogate Marion after Marion has not been. So she tried to escape from Renee. And he comes
the
in there
hanger?
with the hanger.
Yeah, yeah,
You talking about Air Mac?
The hanger scene is so fun.
Is that like a
100%.
hanger that existed in the 40s? Because that is a crazy hanger.
That
So
was so
apparently
funny.
Spielberg had that in another movie
American
that
Gangster. American Graffiti.
so he was trying to get
yeah.
that going.
Or no, it was Lucas, I think.
No, well, maybe I don't know. I heard Spielberg was trying to work that into a movie and it didn't work, and so he tried it again in here.
Yeah, I forget which movie it was.
That guy that plays him, by the way, was out of acting. He couldn't get jobs, and so he actually became an agent. And then he got contacted for this movie, and it
What kind of agent we talking here?
like an actor agent.
Oh.
And it reignited his career.
I thought he was like up on roofs and
No.
stuff. Okay.
But there's a behind the scenes. If you haven't seen this, you have to watch this. There's a behind the scenes where they are filming this scene. They do the hanger thing and they sit down and he's like manic and he's like excited to torture. And he's like, what should we talk about? And Steven Spielberg starts laughing while he's saying cut. He's just so gleefully happy with how the whole scene worked out.
He crushed it. We're talking about Air Mac, right?
Yeah.
Who?
Yes.
Air Max.
Yeah.
That's what Marion calls him.
Yes, it's just so great.
Fräulein.
What shall we talk about?
I love everything about this movie, especially those little pieces that you can just find in there.
One of the pieces I wrote down was when the guy's handing out the melons and he's giving them to the driver.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Nazi officer in the back throws it and the dog went. I'm like, bro. Also, fun fact: if you go back and watch that scene, what's the guy's name? The bad Nazi.
Which
Bella.
one?
Tota.
Well,
Tot or
Tot.
Tote?
Okay, Tot.
Yeah. He's actually not in the car. He's supposed to be in the car. His hat and jacket are in the car, but it's like on a dummy. And you can easily see that he wasn't there for filming. So he just there. That's why they like made it so like misdirection that you're focused on the melon throwing because he's literally not in the car.
huh.
Wow. Yeah.
The snakes were a big issue for a lot of people, but one of the first assistant directors, he got bit by a python. He got bit by a python on his
they're
hand.
not venomous.
No, they're not venomous, but
They
he-
be biting.
He just sat there with it like this, and he got someone to go into the back and slap the back of it, and it let go. And Spielberg, when he's interviewed about this, he is just amazed that how did he know how to do that? He just knew. He just knew how to do that. It's great seeing that. Great.
Yeah. I mean, this movie really is really good. It is.
You gonna change your rating?
No, I just look. My rating is my rating. I can be objective.
Yeah, but we've had you change your rating before.
no, I can be
Your
objective.
enjoyability is less than how good the movie
I just
actually
don't
is.
like the genre.
Okay.
I don't like action adventure typically. Like all these movies that we reviewed, if you look back and you look at my history, if it's not like
horror.
look, if I watched this as a kid, it would have that nostalgic tie for me. Like Star Wars. Action adventure, sci-fi action adventure. It has that I hate sci-fi.
Because to me and to Jeff, this is like The Mummy.
The
and
Mummy
you
is-
love The Mummy, and
but
you
I,
saw The Mummy back
as a
then.
child.
Yeah.
Also, The Mummy, I would argue, is more entertaining.
Okay.
It's
I just
also
don't see how it's any different. Really.
because of the generational difference in when it was filmed. They just had more at their.
You're talking about the effects.
Yes,
I don't
And
think
I
the-
think the story
I think-
behind the Mummy makes more sense. It's more followable.
All fair. But
This movie goes like we were talking. Even if it's underlined, it still goes deep into history and it's like heavy topics. The Mummy is very fictional. None of that's real. It's real, but none of it's real. And it's more entertaining. And I like Brendan Fraser more than I like Harrison Ford.
That's
and I
fine.
think the homegirl in Mummy is way more entertaining.
I think they're all great. I think they're all great. I won't try to
There it is.
sway.
I got been on that.
Marion sucks. Just gonna
I don't
say.
think
Marion does suck.
Yes, she
Marion-
does.
Marion-
She's super annoying in this film.
Oh man, I just
That's one of the things I don't like.
Oh no.
She was strong. I mean, she was a strong character. I don't understand the issues. I don't understand. The
I have two fun facts that I have to tell you before we get to
About Miriam?
No, just in general.
Is it about our? Go ahead.
Anyway, two fun facts before we get to the things that we don't like. Okay.
How long is she?
I know it's like
I'm sorry.
it's
I'm
got
sorry.
like
This is just one of the
45
best
fun
movies
facts.
ever made.
All right, go on.
All right, so in the third movie, Sean Connery's character, who plays Indiana Jones' dad,
Wait, are
he
we-
said, "We named the dog Indiana," which is really funny because it's actually George Lucas's dog's name. And that's why he
yeah.
came up with it.
Chewbacca.
It was the inspiration for Chewbacca as well. And it was named Indiana Smith at first. And Spielberg
His
said
name is Indiana.
Indiana Jones.
I thought it was Indian.
Anyway, as a fun fact is that Tom Selleck was actually cast as Indiana Jones first. And the reason that he couldn't do it is because CBS said,
Knight
hold
Rider.
on a minute, player. You're doing Magnum PI
Magnum
and you
PI.
cannot get out of it. And so Spielberg initially asked George Lucas to do Harrison Ford, and he said no because he didn't want to, have him in his third thing,
Yeah, American Graffiti and
Star Wars.
love
And they
Tom
went
Selleck.
back towards it.
Love Tom Selleck, but happy this all worked out with Harrison Ford.
Same here.
Did
When
he
you
do,
think-
Did Tom Selleck do?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
has. I'm just not saying that. I've
Drop
seen
the
it.
link. You understand?
But anyway, seriously though, you think about iconic like characters in literature, whether it's movies, books. Indiana Jones, I feel like
Well, where do you put him?
will stand.
How high up do you put him?
10.
Oh, I'm just saying. I think he's very
Top
iconic.
10?
Can you go around? All right. Can you go around right now and just ask? Do you like anybody on the street? Do you know who Indiana Jones is?
Sure. But then I would ask the follow-up question if they said yes. When's the last time you watched the movie? And
It doesn't
I
matter.
guarantee the average answer is
All
going to be
my point was
when I
going
was
to
a
be.
child.
All my point was going to be was that I think he's one of the most iconic characters in literature, cinema, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Harry Potter, Indiana Jones.
Both are more
Luke
popular.
Skywalker. I'm just
More
saying.
popular.
Yeah, those are
Also
really
more
iconic.
recent.
Those
There's
are
a
all
little
iconic
bit of a
characters
recent
in
That's
Star
super
Wars.
fair. That's super fair.
I'll just say.
All right, so let's
think
go
that's a
through.
fair point.
We've heard what Tony doesn't like about this movie. Let's start with Ben.
I have
Ben,
a
what are
whole
some of the nitpick things that you don't necessarily like, or just things that in general that you weren't a big fan of?
Okay. 2 minor things besides Marion. Visually, I know we're big on practical effects, but I audibly laughed the scene where they are jumping into the Well of Souls and he throws the staff through. It looks horrible.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say.
I don't even remember
My
that.
my
Go
big,
back and watch it and look how bad it looks.
My big issue, my only complaint, will just get me out of the way because it piggybacks off of what Ben was saying, was that same scene. I think the lightning behind Indy and like his
When he's holding
composition in the scene when he's waiting on everybody to dig up that the seal,
Yeah.
and so it opens up when you see the lightning and the setting
and
behind
the-
him
and
start
the storm.
changing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the only part that I think
That's
doesn't
pretty
really
bad.
hold up.
That's
That
pretty
it is bad, but
especially
everything
like you
else,
said, when Indy's framed in it.
yeah,
it looks
yeah,
bad.
it looks bad. But everything else, I
The
really
end
don't
looks
have.
bad too.
I have no complaints with this movie other than the fact that I just wanted to see how Indy got in the submarine. Other than that,
No, he held his breath.
All right, there's one other thing I'm shocked nobody has mentioned this, just because it's absolutely ridiculous. When he's in the Well of Souls, he is not physically strong enough to stand on top of the statue and topple it. There's no way.
you don't know what that's made
Bro,
of,
it's
Ben.
been, yeah,
Bro,
it's been there
it's made
for-
of cardboard if
was
he's
pa-
able to.
It was paper mache.
Homegirl was literally hanging on the tip of it and like the angle of it. That shit would have fallen if he could have pushed it.
Let's say thousands of pounds. There's no way he can move it and knock the wall over.
Yeah. Also,
It's ridiculous.
No way homegirl's falling from 20 feet and catching that snake's mouth and catching her body weight. Weak.
All right, here we go. Tony, what are some of the things that you didn't like about it that you haven't already said?
So I accept the visual effects drawbacks. I get that time frame. I don't think it was even that bad, honestly. I think my biggest problems come with, maybe in later movies they explain his origin story and why he's this gun-toting, whip-wielding badass who's also an archaeological doctor professor. I mean, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me that he's the end-all, be-all treasure hunter who's literally never gotten treasure. Beyond that, I don't have many issues with it objectively. Subjectively, I just don't like the action-adventure genre,
Got it.
especially when it's old-timey and then old-timey setting on top of that.
And you don't have the nostalgia for it.
And I don't have the nostalgia for it, but I can respect all of the fact that all of you do. I can respect the fact that it is a very well-made movie. I can respect the fact that it's even well acted. I think everyone acts well in this movie. I can even accept the fact that the story is actually pretty good.
Okay.
It's just not.
It's just
for
not
me.
your cup of tea. It's not your
Correct.
okay. That
Like,
makes a lot of sense.
La La Land is probably great, but I would never see it.
I understand.
and I think it's stupid.
I understand.
Same with Wicked. Actually, that's probably
Yeah,
not great.
Mickey 17 is one of your highest rated movies ever on the show.
Mickey
But he
17
likes
was
that
good.
style,
I thought
man.
it
He
was
likes that
fun.
It's horrible, but
Yeah. Honestly, like, no, really quick though, I think I just go into a movie and you just feel it.
Yeah.
Like with, what did we just watch? What was that movie?
Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme. I loved it.
Yeah.
And if you had told me, well, you did, and he did. Jeff told me about it. I was like, that sounds stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see it at all, and I saw it and I liked it. So I'm not very changeable. I just think Indiana Jones.
This year, do you want to go into more movies blind?
100%. I think going in blind, because I went into Marty Supreme blind. I had no idea. I didn't even know who was in it. And I thought it was great. I think going to movies blind is like such an underrated thing to do. Onward.
Interesting.
Sorry.
Well, I lied. I have another fun fact. Really cool thing.
I'm going to make sure I don't have any.
This is actually the movie making process history, really, because Spielberg is such an influential artist in this in movie making in general. So at this point, he had really only done movies that he had gone way over delivery time and way over budget.
Checks out.
And he was kind of lucky that Lucas came to him with this because they're boys, they're best friends, and he made it his mission to deliver faster and deliver under budget. Mainly because he started getting a bad reputation for that early on, even though he was making successes for the most part. But nobody wanted to make this movie when they brought it to him. They brought it to all these different studios and everybody turned it down because they said there's no way you can make this under budget or for 20-something million, which Lucas said they could. But Lucas said that he wanted to shoot it like a TV show and bring it in tight. And so Paramount finally said yes. And it was, Eisner, I believe, Jeff, that wanted to do it.
My boy.
And for Paramount. And so they
Is that
greenlit
Kathleen
it.
Kennedy's wife?
No,
No.
Michael Eisner.
And so they greenlit it, and Spielberg says that that's why it's as tight as it is. That's why it's the way it's shot, and he really took pride in doing it.
No,
in
I
that
like
amount
that.
of time,
I thought
which
it
I
was
think is
shot
really
very
cool.
well.
Yeah.
Also, Spielberg does this really cool thing, that over talking thing, where like multiple conversations are happening at once and people are over talking each other. It's really hard to kind of portray accurately in film, and he does a great job at it.
That's all that's it for my fun facts. I was very excited for
I'm out
this
of fun
movie.
facts, too.
Love this. I really do think it's one of the best scores of all time. Like this
Score
and
is great.
Star Wars. Oh my gosh. Shocker, it's all John Williams.
Jaws is better.
John
So is
Williams.
Terminator.
What else can you ask for from a score?
Yeah, I guess that's fair. From a score, I don't know. Some nudity would have been nice.
I mean, you got a little bareback action, so can't complain too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
You have anything else, Ben?
No, I think I'm good. I think
Tony,
you
do you have
covered it
anything
all.
else?
Nah, I'm
Jeff, how about
straight.
yourself?
No,
That's good because I've got one more fun fact.
No.
Alfred Molina, first
Doc
movie
Ock,
ever.
yeah.
Doc Ock. This is his first movie ever who's only in theaters for 5 years.
Did you know that?
Yeah, he was in the theater industry, and then he came and did this. The very first thing he shot was the tarantula scene, dude. And he said that
That's Doc Ock.
Yeah, the guy that dies at the beginning.
He gets all spiked up.
Yeah, it's Doc Ock.
That's
so
crazy.
They put him in there, and they put like 20. He said at least 24 tarantulas on his back.
yeah, that's crazy.
And Steven Spielberg, they're rolling, and he goes, "Why aren't they moving? They look fake." And the wrangler said, "Oh, we got to add a female to them for them to start freaking out." So they put one female, and they start freaking out and fighting and moving all over. And they go, "All right, Alfred, look scared." He goes, "I'm scared." So yes,
He even makes a noise like,
Oh, it's funny because Doc Ock is like 8, and like spiders have 8, and it's like a
It's like a circle.
octopus is what that means, huh? Okay. I was trying to make that reference.
Anyway.
I don't think
I-
spiders have 6.
Okay, yeah, but he's in Spider-Man, and there's the reference.
All right,
Cry Me a
Starts with
River.
an S.
let us know what you guys think of Indiana Jones,
bad.
Raiders
That
of the
was
Lost Ark. This movie, in my opinion, as you could tell, is one of the best made movies of all time. Drop your ranking down below. Let us know how you did in trivia. If you haven't joined the Discord or subscribed, click the buttons. Let's do it. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.